G'day everyone. Welcome back to a Toon podcast, the Southern Hemisphere's biggest and best podcast, all things Newcastle United. We are absolutely flying here at the moment. Preview time. Ideally, we would have loved to have get everyone here for this, like we did a couple of years ago, but unfortunately, Dimmy's parents decided today was the day he was going to pop out, which means he's out of action. Jack's trying to solve the mental health crisis of Brisbane by himself, which rules him out, and Bobby will probably be unsighted for the next 6 months after Richmond's win over Carlton at the MCG last night. So it's left to us four. We've got Mark, we've got Craig, we've got Lee. Gents, how are we this evening?
Doing absolutely brilliant. Starting to get a little excited, it has to be said.
Absolutely see him at the start, by the way.
Absolutely. You wouldn't even know the difference, would you?
Beauty.
Mark, you just said there you're starting to twitch a little bit. Craig and Lee, are you starting to get a bit twitchy as well, or it's probably a bit over 48 hours out
Craig's
now, so we're not that bad yet.
Craig's always got that rabbit nose on the go; it never stops.
It's a full-time rabbit.
But to put into perspective how I was at this stage for the Man United Cup final, I don't think I'm anywhere near as nervous as I was for then. Maybe that's because the expectation is a little bit less this time. Not too sure, but my nerves they're definitely on the incline. And they will get to the teetering point come the first whistle. But so far, I'm holding up okay. Just soaking up all the media content, which is canny.
It is. Lee, how about you, mate?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. It's starting to kick in today. Yeah, it's this gap between qualifying for the final and then the actual final is an absolute piss take. I mean, it was bad enough
isn't it?
in between the two semi-finals. It was bad enough, but like then you do it again for the final. That's fucking stupid, man. We've been able to kind of push it to one side and sort of barely kind of not think about it, but even though we are thinking about it, and like Eddie himself said, now we can finally start talking about it. And I think today was when it started to kind of kick in a little bit, but it's still another long 2 days, man. They're going to drag. What about you, Keegan? How are you going?
No, I'm fine. I've got enough shit to keep me kind of occupied to not think about it. I think Sunday, once my sort of I've got a big Saturday, probably a big Sunday morning, but then come Sunday afternoon, I reckon the reality of it will probably start sinking in, and you start thinking about what if we win. Well, I think, like Craig said, we're massive underdogs going in, and I don't think anyone really gives us a chance, which is fair enough. I think Liverpool are clearly the best side in the country at the moment, so they're deserved favourites. But it's a one-off game, and anything can happen. So I think probably Sunday you'll start like, oh, what happens if we do? What am I going to do if we do win? And then sort of I think you'll start getting a bit sick gut after that.
I'm just assuming we're not going to do it, and then it's it's like a flinch reaction. It's like, oh yeah, we lost again. Standard. Let's just respond like we always do because we always lose. But, and then if we win, I mean that'll be a special thing, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it'd be huge. So just a little bit of sort of housekeeping for the game. It's a 4:30 kickoff, I think, in the UK, which is a strange time for a cup final, if I do sort of say so myself. It's 3:30 in the morning here in Victoria, New South Wales. 2:30 for you benders up there.
Yeah.
It is live on beIN Sports here in Australia. I'm guessing it's on Sky or BT Sports or TNT Sports, whatever it's called these days. In the UK, we do have meetups as well, which we'll give a quick plug. So shout out to Aussie Mags for teeing all this up. Mark's played a huge role in the Brisbane chapter, if we want to call it that, setting that up at the Pig and Whistle. So that's there, Melbourne, at the CQ Sports Park. I think we are a bit over 500 tickets now, Mark. Is that correct for Melbourne?
I think it's just over 500 for Melbourne. It's about 50 or 60 people going to the Brisbane one.
Yeah, which is massive. So Sydney's at the Cheers Bar downstairs. Like we said, Brisbane at the Pig and Whistle, Adelaide at the Arca Bar, in the Sporties Bar, and Perth at the Federal Hotel from 8:30 onwards. So if you don't remember that, jump on Aussie Mag socials on Facebook, Instagram, and stuff like that. And they've got a graphic with all the stuff there and where to go to watch with like-minded Newcastle fans. I believe it's a no dickhead policy as well, which means no Liverpool fans are allowed to enter the premises. They are for Newcastle fans only. So you don't have to worry about any of that. And I think that's about it for housekeeping. Now, let's get into the game. Liverpool, like I said, huge opponents. Our record against them is absolute dog shit. Let's not sugarcoat anything. Don't think we've beaten them. I think the last time we beat them was in 2015, and we haven't looked like. I shouldn't say haven't looked like it, but we just haven't beaten them. I think it's 10 losses, 5 draws, or something like that. We're a shocking record. Our record at Wembley isn't much better. I don't think we've won there since the 87-88 season, and the only time we've scored since then was a Rob Lee goal in the FA Cup semi-final in 99-2000. So never mind winning there, we just don't score there. And all I want to see, and I said this 2 years ago when we were in the same position, was just to score a goal at Wembley in a final in my lifetime. I'd take that at the moment, never mind a win. But, Craig, how do we win this game, mate? How do we beat Liverpool?
We have to press. It's as simple as that. If we sit back, soak up all of their attack, we will get annihilated, I reckon. If we go out there like we did at St. James's earlier on in the season, then we have a chance. Albeit it'll be a slightly different team from the one that lined up back in December, I think it was. But if we can go to that game with the same level of intensity, then we always will stand a chance.
Yeah, Mark, if you were you put your football manager hat on at the moment, how would you set your stall out to beat this Liverpool side?
Well, for a start, I was kind of really pessimistic until probably a week ago, and then we beat West Ham in London, away game. We've seen Liverpool lose to PSG, extra time.
We got what we wanted. We didn't care what happened.
Got
just
some
play
injuries, and there's just this little glimmer of hope starting to creep in. And then you've just done that and shat all over it. So I'm back to thinking we're going to get smashed again. Look, we're massive underdogs. I think we've got to go into this and do exactly what we did at St. James's Park earlier in the season. We pushed them all away. It was 3-3 in that game. We scored some good goals. They scored some goals. We got effectively robbed by a 4-3 very late goal where we were on the break and the ref blew up.
That's worse than the stats I just brought up.
So look, we've proven if we are on our game, I think we've proven we can match them. We just need to be up for it. We've got to press them, as Craig said. We've got to not give them any time on the ball, because if we give them time on the ball, they will cut us apart. Our defense is not exactly pacey by any stretch of the imagination. So I think we're going to have to score a couple of goals, and I think the only way we do that is just to get on the front foot and try and outscore them.
Lee, I know you're a very simple man with simple philosophies, mate. Are you just in the War Flags banner, get into them? Is that all you're thinking about now?
Mate, all I'm thinking about is turn up. We didn't bother at Man United. It was such a disappointing performance. So first things first, let's just turn up there. Let's just rock up there and actually pretend like or believe that we belong there. It's the second time in 3 years. So, we're starting to believe in ourselves a little bit. Everyone's starting to get the idea that, hey, you know what, this is potentially a cup-winning team, this. Turn up and just believe in yourselves and have a go at it. Don't be scared. That game that you've mentioned, both of yous, it's St. James's, was a bit like a cup final anyway. It was back and forwards, and they scored one, we scored one.
It was a great game, actually.
It was a good game, yeah. And if the referee wasn't a twat, we probably would have got a goal at the end there and took the W. But we got shot on, as typical. But this is an actual physical cup game. It can go any which way. It's form goes out the window. It's about belief. It's about determination. It's about desire. And I just want us to turn up and show those things and have a good go at it. And you know what? Score a goal. That would be nice, actually. But I want to see them win it. I don't care about just a goal for the sake of a goal. I wanted that to be a winning goal.
Baby steps.
Yeah.
No,
so do you think
just win it?
Yeah, it's actually a very valid point. We probably saved our worst game for the season for that Man United Cup final. I don't know if it was the occasion and that, but do you think that we'd be better for the experience now, and it's not a novelty for us after having it happen like 2 years ago with Touchwood and tinfoil hat on, majority of the same players that were here 2 years ago?
I mean, I certainly bloody hope so, because that's the kind of the whole point of progressing the team, isn't it? And you get the experiences, you learn from the things that you did right, and you learn from the things that you did wrong. You learn from everything. And I wanted to take that feeling of loss into this one. I want that to be sort of in the back of their minds, like, that was such a shit feeling that I do not want to have to go through that again. And I want to see that desire in them, and I think we will. The slight concern is where the energy levels might be. So we're going to have to see how tired everyone is. We've got some people out, and again, formation might also come into that as well, whether we press or whether we sit back or whether we do something in the middle. We'll just have to wait and see. But I do think that we will take lessons from that last time round. That was the first time in a long, long time. We didn't really have any lessons to lean back onto. It was a different life the last time we were at Wembley. And that was the first.
I think a lot of them players hadn't played in a game. I think maybe Kieran Trippier was probably the only player who played.
Trippier would have, yeah. Trippier would have.
Like a meaningful big game like that. Whereas, I think the rest of the team probably hadn't really played in anything like that.
Exactly right.
Yeah, I think Trippier's actually come out and said that in an interview as well, where like they feel that they maybe let everything down and everything got on top of them for the last game. They got caught up in the moment, and it didn't translate to the pitch. So you look, I mean, if they've learnt from it and they're ready to go, then as Lee said, it's like transfer that energy of being pissed off with that loss, and just get out there and give it everything. If they can't walk and they miss the next game, I honestly don't care, as long as they come away with a win.
Yeah, absolutely. Craig, we spoke about the last final against Man United being a big game as well. Do you think with our Champions League campaign last year against three really, really big clubs in Europe as well, do you think, like, same thing with the majority of the same players who are still with us today, do you think that sort of helps as well to some degree?
It has to, because the Champions League is the pinnacle of club football, isn't it? You get the best teams and the best players in the world in that competition. And as Lee said, everything's a learning curve. So as long as we can take experience from that, in that game against AC Milan at home, where we effectively threw away European football when we lost 2-1, when we were 1-0 up, I think that's going to be a learning curve as well. Experiences just like that. Purely because of the fact that we had held on, we could have still been Europe, albeit the squad was hampered by injuries. It was probably the best thing for us to exit the competition. But things like that have to be in the back of players' men goes, what did we do wrong here? And what can we do to put it right? And what did we do right? And how can we make that even better again? That's the way they have to take that experience and knowledge and push forward with it.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's kind of weird too, Mark, because although it's a Champions League and their group games and stuff like that, it felt like every game, at least in the old format, was an event. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I know it was a group game, but they just felt like every game felt like a big deal. Now, whether it was home or away, they just felt like a big game and I think the group that we're in obviously played a part in that with the big teams that we had. But you think that these events and the more we put ourselves in these positions, the better off we'll be in the long run when we find ourselves in these positions again.
Oh, for sure. And I think that's just part of, we spent so long in the doldrums, and I mean, we've been seeing on social media today that people criticizing the fact that fans are enjoying it, and we're making a big deal out of it again. And Sealer's doing some like sort of displays.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Yeah, and it's like, well, this for us is still relatively new. I mean, like 4 years ago, we were lucky that we were staying in the league, let alone getting to cup finals regularly. Two cup finals in 3 years is pretty special for this group of fans, and it's got to be affecting the players as well because of the expectation, the pressure. They all know what this is about. They all know how much of a legend they're going to be if they ever break this duck and get us a major trophy. They know that. You've got players at this club who genuinely care about the club, the fans. They want to deliver, and I think it got the best of them against Man United. But if they've learnt from that and they can push on and do something else in this game, then it's a one-off game. Liverpool are massive favourites, yes, but anything can happen on the day. So let's just see. But the Champions League games, I think, were we've obviously seen a change in the format. We've seen other clubs get very much easier draws as well. We had the so-called group of death, and it really was as well. I mean, we basically played a finalist, a semi-finalist, and like one of the record ever kind of Champions League winners, all in the same group, and that was
with
our
12
first
big
foray
players
back in. So look, we beat PSG 4-1. You know, we proved we could match them on the day.
And should have beaten them in Paris as well.
And we should have beaten them away as well, if not for another refereeing howler.
This is getting
it is traumatic. Excuse me. I will say I am 100% prepared mentally for Liverpool to get a soft shit penalty that just like destroys any kind of confidence in the squad. I know it's going to happen. The referee's going to pull something out the bag. But we've proven we can go to toe-to-toe with these clubs. And were it not for the squad, I think we probably would have hung on, and like the injuries in the squad, more to the point, I think we would have gone on and held on to qualify for the group for the knockout stages last year.
Yeah, it was. And I think even with what you said, Craig, about that last game against AC Milan, I thought the same thing, but I think Eddie, and I'm not sure if he obviously would have spoke to Mad Dog about this, or there was a sort of preconceived plan going in, but they wanted to stay in the Champions League. They weren't going to park the bus to try and hang on for Europa League. They said they owed it to the players and the work that they'd put in over them games to try and finish as high as they can. Now, you live by the sword, you die by the sword, and unfortunately we died by the sword that day. But I guess that was the attitude, that we want to win the game and we want to play in the highest competition, and we'd rather not have anything. And I was a bit flat, I must admit, after that game too, knowing that we'd lost everything, because I thought we could have given the Europa League a really good shake come February when we come back, and our sort of injury list might have helped a bit. But when February started and the Europa League started up again, we had no more players back. So we were going to be in exactly the same position, probably even a little bit worse than what we were. Mm-hmm. So like you said, it was probably a blessing in disguise that we did sort of not go through in that competition. But yeah, I can't help think that them experiences and stuff like that are going to hold us in good stead. And Lee, I don't know about you, but it does feel like a bit more business-like this week. It's not as much as a novelty as what it was 2 years ago. It does feel like sort of, all right, let's roll our sleeves up. We've got a job to do now.
Which is how you need to approach this, really. You can be giddy with excitement, and you can go get my suit measured and whatever the hell was that Burn said. You can do all that, and nobody's going to criticize you for it, because we're all the same. Basically, we're all humans. This is new to everybody. But we've been through that phase now. We are now approaching this in a different manner. I would certainly hope that the likes of Eddie Howe have learned things from the first time round. It's not just about the players playing the game differently. It's also about the manager and how he sets up and how he handles situations, substitutions, all that kind of business. I mean, there's learnings across the board for this entire club. And yeah, I think it's one of those things in life, isn't it, where you've got this massive thing coming up, but if you take the mindset of it's just another day or it's just another game, it allows you to think about what you've got to do a little bit clearer, rather than being sucked up in the emotions of it and just being kind of giddy and excited. You're thinking about, right, if this happens, I need to do this. If this happens, I need to do that. And that's going to be good for us. And it goes to the fans even as well. I mean, the fans are going to go over there and they're going to be daft, and they're going to take over Covent Garden, and they're going to have a great time and all the rest of it. But maybe even taps into what Mark was saying there, where some people are saying, calm down, it's only the Carabao and whatever. I've said it myself before, the Carabao's a bit of a shit trophy. I don't really like it that much, but there's a means to an end of winning the trophy and getting into Europe. It's priceless for us, for a team like us who desperately needs a trophy or is in the hunt for the UCL, but that could go either way. That could, who knows where we end up.
So many teams in there at the moment.
Yeah. I mean, you lose one game and everyone wins one, you're down in bloody 10th. It's ridiculous.
Well, it's guaranteed European football. It's a major domestic cup. It's not like Intertoto or anything like that. It's still a major domestic
Community
cup.
Shield.
I genuinely don't care. Like, if anyone who's dissing it or having a go at Sealer for putting on a light display, if Alexander Isak on a building on the Thames, I don't care. It's like I'm excited. It's like it is. I am pleased to be there. It's not like I'm just, we're turning up just to have a good time again. Yeah, I am. I'm going out on Sunday night / Monday morning to celebrate and hopefully a win. But win or lose, I don't care. It's just like it's exciting to be in a cup final because this is not like an everyday thing for Newcastle fans, and it hasn't been for a long time. So I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to have a good time, and hopefully we end up having something to celebrate, if not in this game, in the near future. But, don't take that away from the fans. This is what we've always done. We've handled defeat. We know we've been shit. We know we've not won anything, and we still continue to support the club. And part of that is enjoying the moments when they come.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, Lee, we can get caught up in the emotion and the excitement of it all, but the players need to be sort of a process-driven, not an outcome-driven thing. Actually worry about what you need to do to win rather than what's going to happen when we win and stuff like that. So hopefully, like you said, they've learned them lessons and they're not caught up in the hysteria and stuff like that. I just might ask something. I'll start with you, Craig, that we spoke with Adam and Dimmy on Tuesday night, I think it was. Apart from the game, mate, what are you looking forward to the most?
Isak, absolutely destroying Van Dijk again.
All right, I'll start again. What, apart from the game, are you looking forward to the most?
I've had a few of these. Don't worry. It's kicking in.
It is Friday night for all of our UK viewers. It is Friday night here that we're recording this. Yeah. We're a few beers deep. Give us a bit of a break.
We wind the clock 30 seconds. I'm just looking forward to all the fan footage again. When they took over. Where was Trafalgar Square, right? And you had all the fans down there. However many was there, 30, 40, 50,000, not a clue. But all that type of fan atmosphere is just absolutely superb. It makes it feel like a European away adventure. When you've seen the fan footage coming from Milan and everything when we were in the Champions League, it had that type of feel to it. And the fans themselves, I mean, I'm 40 next week. Dimmy's birthday's today. You're 40 in April, Keegan. Lee,
let's keep that under wraps.
You're the same age as Stonehenge, I think. And Mark, I've no idea how old you actually are. But none of us have actually seen us lift a trophy. Apart from that Mickey Mouse wall plaque or the TV aerial trophy that Captain Cole lifted a good few years ago. I have absolutely no idea what I am going to be in that situation. As I said to yourself, Keegan, I don't know how I will feel, but I want to know what it feels like. All you three have had a respective team to win a major trophy, albeit in a different sport. I have never experienced that. Yes, I seen England lift the Rugby World Cup back in 2003.
It's not a sport though, so it doesn't matter.
It is, you're a little bit bitter because of Johnny Wilkinson got it past you lot, but that was the last time I actually seen them. To be honest, I'm not really a big international sport fan. I prefer the domestic stuff. But that, to me, has got to be the biggest thing. Besides the football event itself, I want to know what it feels like to win something major. Yes, it's the smallest of the major trophies, but as Mark said earlier on, it's baby steps. Go from the League Cup, then to the FA Cup, then to whatever cup, and so on from there on, But the fan footage, the hysteria, the excitement, the build-up, everything about it from the start to the finish, I'm just going to lap it up, soak it up, and have those memories, hopefully, for a lifetime.
Yeah, nice. Mark, what about you, mate? What are you looking forward to the most that's not the game?
I'm looking forward to the pig and whistle. 60, we make a lot of noise. We as I said before, we've basically been told, look, you're going to be inside because it's going to be 2:30 in the morning, and everyone around us is going to be annoyed at you making so much noise out in the main bar area where we normally watch the games. So we've been banished to the indoors bit, but I'm just looking forward to having almost probably double the normal turnout. Having that noise, having those fans just to kind of, celebrate or commiserate with, I don't care, but just having a good time with those Newcastle fans. The last cup final I was in Vegas for, and I went along to the Newcastle fan meetup in Vegas. It was in this pub that was dominated by Man United fans. It wasn't very many Newcastle fans there. There was a Celtic Rangers game on at the same time or something. There was rugby going on in the background. Nobody was singing. Nobody was chanting. And it's like, I get it. It's the thing over in Vegas, and they still turned up. Fair play to them, but nothing comes close to like just other than being at an away game or at St James's Park. Nothing's come close to it than being with the Newcastle fans at meetups in Australia. I mean the sheer volume of noise we had down in Melbourne, and that was for like a post-season meaningless game where pretty much everyone had already gone home by that stage. And it's like, it was special, and just sharing that moment with the Newcastle fans, I think that to me is just priceless. It makes it all worthwhile.
Even the national meetup too, like that was a 1 a.m. game. No, you were there.
Oh, for the
national meetup one in Melbourne when
I was there. I was there for the postseason one. Yeah. No,
you and Pam come down for the Crystal Palace game. It was at 1 a.m. at the Sherlock Holmes.
So I did.
And it was. I don't think there was maybe 100 people. Like it was chockers in there, but the noise from such a small amount of people was crazy. So, hopefully you make a lot of noise in a respectful manner at the Pig and Whistle on Monday morning.
They'll close the doors on us. They'll close the doors.
Lee, what about you, mate? What are you looking forward to the most? It's not the game.
I didn't realise we were getting kept indoors there, Mark. I thought we'd be outside like we usually are. I suppose it makes sense, 2:30 in the morning.
There's
Monday on a school morning.
There's flats around us. Everyone will be trying to sleep at 3 in the morning.
Not their fault. I'm looking forward to peacocking all of next week, to be honest with you. I'm going to get onto the old socials. I'm going to be getting across all of the...
Straight into the forums.
All the opinions, and I'm going to get onto the bloody forums. I'm going to be reading all this stuff. All the bitter Scouse bastards that they can't believe they lost and the season's ruined, even though they've won the league. Well, I mean, I love doing that kind of thing. That's my kind of... my treat to myself, I like to just go on those things and hear people talk about how good we were or how bad they were.
Do you comment under like an alias and just start throwing bait out, or are you just happy just to be a reader?
No. He's just a creeper in the background. He just like
I just
leave a lurker. We'll call him from now.
I just do a windmill under the table as I go through each of the posts. I'm kind of touching myself right now. Can't believe it. I'm looking forward to it.
Ooh, Craig's nearly done a valve down there.
Jesus Christ.
Just bouncing off the floor. So that's basically what I'm looking forward to. Obviously, the Pig and Whistle will be terrific if we win. It's going to be something else. I appreciate what you're saying there, Craig. But like, I've never seen Newcastle win, and I'm nearly 50 now. It's about time that we won something.
It is, isn't it?
Everybody involved with this club. It's long past time that this club won a fucking trophy. All right, the players will be trophy winning players. Eddie Howe will be a trophy winning manager, and we'll all be fans basking in the glory of a trophy winning club. And none of us really have that from top to bottom. None of us really
from too much alcohol celebration.
it's just going to be like nothing else that we've managed to experience. I mean, beating PSG 4-1 was unreal. But that's got to be like 10% of what it'll be like winning a national trophy. I'd imagine it'll be just ridiculous. So I'm looking forward to just basking in the glory of a fantastic win next week, to be honest with you. What about you, Keegsy?
We spoke about, I was sort of similar to Craig. I was looking forward to just the week and all the content that you get on socials from all the fans who travel down to London now, whether they're at the game or around. I think I read somewhere Trafalgar Square might be closed for something like that. So wherever they kind of congregate.
Yeah, St. Patrick's Day is taking priority, apparently.
Won't be for long. They'll take it over and they'll be running the joint pretty quick, I reckon. But wherever they decide to congregate, whether it's Trafalgar Square or outside Buckingham Palace or wherever it ends up being, that just all them videos and then sort of the videos from inside the ground from the fans with the atmosphere and stuff like that. And I don't know why last time I got a real sort of kick out of the club put a video up of the change rooms in Wembley that was sort of all dressed up in all the Newcastle colours and badges and things like that. And that's when it kind of hit home and went, oh shit, like we're in here, like this is real. We're actually in a final and stuff like that. So that's sort of one of the sort of the main stuff that I'm looking forward to. But Lee, you've just sort of let us know what you'll be doing if we win. Craig, what are you going to do, mate, if we can pull off the impossible? Will you pull off the impossible as well?
Well done.
Oh, no, genuinely, I've said it and I've joked about this many a time, right? But I do genuinely think I'll go missing. I've already got to get.
Don't say that because we'll be worried sick about you, mate. All right.
I want to get a poster printed. Have you seen this man last seen streaking naked through the streets of Mackay or something like that? You know.
If that goes up, can you use the photo of you with the bleached hair as the missing photo, please? Yes, thank you.
Genuinely, and I can feel myself as getting emotional to talk about this as well. But it's just going to be one of those moments where that final whistle goes. You see all the players on the bench, the coaches, the manager, whatever, run onto the pitch. They're all doing that huddle. And then you realise it's Liverpool walking up those steps first. Then thinking, you know what, we've actually won this. We're going up those steps second. We get to lift that trophy. And then just, I can picture Bruno now with Trippier on one end. And maybe even Jamal Lascelles there, because to be honest, he does deserve to not necessarily be part of the matchday squad because he'll not be fit enough, obviously, but be part of that whole setup. Just to go there, lift that trophy hand in hand, effectively, and then I will just be crying like a little schoolgirl. And I will not be the only one. The tears will be flowing. The beer will be flowing. I am going to go missing for a week. God knows who's going to be doing the podcast for the review if we do win, because it's just going to be a lot of slurred words, because I guarantee you, no matter how many of these we've had tonight, it will not be enough come that moment we win that cup, if we win that cup, because it's going to be one hell of a celebration. And it might not just last for an hour or two like it will with the Liverpool fans if they do. It's going to go on for a week, fortnight, a month or whatever. This will go down historically as an immense moment for the football club. And I just cannot fucking wait for it to happen. Oh, right over.
3-0 Liverpool then, eh?
Yeah. So, Craig, like you said, mate, you're nearly 40, and I know probably, and I don't want to rank anyone here, but I reckon that your heart bleeds black and white probably a little bit more than nearly all of ours do. Where would this day rank if we were to win in your life, do you think? And be mindful, your wife might be watching this as well.
Better than his first rank.
She'll be watching it, to be honest. No matter what I say is going to happen, this part is going to get clipped and shared, Lisa, anyway. So, regardless of what's going to happen. But Lisa knows exactly how much this means to me. She's not bothered at all how much content I put on the TV. I've been watching my mobile. She's just been saying, you know what, lap it up. Get every bit of content in here as you can, because, and I mean, I was actually starting to well up here. I do not know what I am going to do, because I'm going to be watching it in my house. Lisa will probably, albeit she'll be in bed, but no, I guarantee I will wake her up. There's no way she's staying asleep at 4 o'clock in the morning, whenever the match is finished. If that final whistle goes and we won that cup, the whole of fucking central Queensland's going to know we've done that.
Alfred's going to have a second coming going up to Mackay, I reckon.
Genuinely, honestly, it's just going to be one of those moments where Keegan, you've got kids. Lee, you've got a Ben as well. They're probably the two proudest moments of your life. I got married at St. James's Park. As you mentioned, my blood is black and white, but this will just go down as probably the greatest moment of my entire life.
I almost wanted to wait and just see Craig cry again. It's worth it just for that, isn't it? Can't wait.
I didn't mean to trigger you, mate. I apologise.
It's going to happen. I'm telling you, if we do win, the last it's 2 minutes to go. We're 2-0 up, and it looks as though it's on. I will stream live.
I still won't be comfortable. If we're 2-0 up with 2 minutes to go, there's no way I'm comfortable still. We're going to have to be 3 or 4 up.
I'm with Keegan on this one. Until that final whistle goes, I'm still going to be a nervous wreck. We could be 5-0 up for all I care. Yeah, it's like 3 minutes to go. Still going to win.
89 minutes, on comes Darwin Núñez. Jesus, he's going to do it again.
That's another flashback that you just triggered, mate. Stop doing this stuff. Mark, I'll come to you. what do you think you'll do now, bearing in mind, probably should have come to Craig last because it's going to be hard to top, mate. But what about you? What do you think you're going to do if we win?
We basically got an extended license for the Pig and Whistle to 5 o'clock in the morning. So that gives us, half an hour's drinking time. I think Pam will be lucky to get me home in one piece. I will potentially, there will be shots. There will be shots at the bar. There will be more beers. There will be much wailing and celebrations, I imagine. And then
what time's the casino open in Brisbane?
It's open 24/7, isn't it?
Oh, you go straight there after the Pig and Whistle.
That was kind of one of our thoughts anyway. Like, if we didn't get the extended license, way Eddie on that one. No, look, it's going to be that surreal moment. I think. I honestly, I know we keep saying, oh, we're going to get drunk, oh, we're going to celebrate this, that, and the other. I actually genuinely think most of us are just going to sit there and just go, what now? What the hell just happened? Like, I don't know what to do now.
What do we do now?
It's like this is weird. It's like how have we lost? How have we won something? It's gonna be a surreal feeling. No matter what, I think it's probably going to take a couple of days for it to sink in. To be honest, and I think it'll be that buzz that you will get for the next week or so definitely until the next game, but long beyond that, because I think there's this talk of an open top bus parade. I liked Simon Jordan's idea of starting the open top bus parade at the Stadium of Light.
I think we should start it from Wembley and then drive it all the way up and have a detour, maybe a detour past the Nissan workers and things like that on the way up.
So it is that feeling of like, I don't know what I'm going to do.
There'll be me on there. They're all on back shift anyway, aren't they?
Oh, but you'll have to go past at night time because that's when they all work night shift apparently. Just before we wrap up, breaking news. Anthony Gordon, Tino Livramento, and Dan Byrne have been called up to the England squad for the upcoming matches for Thomas Tuchel's first ever England squad. I think Lewis Hall is extremely stiff to miss out, even though he's incapacitated on one leg. I still think on one leg he's probably still the best left back in the country at the moment. So he can count himself unlucky. But Dan Byrne, man, what a story. That, like, who knows if he'll make his debut for England, but for where he's come from, and a local kid who never thought he'd get the opportunity to play for his home club and things like that, to come full circle. A bit of a, I guess, not a shrewd signing from Brighton, but definitely was scoffed at it in some circles, given, we were owned by PIF and we had all the money in the world and we've bought Dan Byrne from Brighton. But his performances this year have been absolutely immense. He's been probably nearly our most consistent player of the season. So for him to finally get an England call-up is amazing. So
what a move.
Craig.
What a move it's been. Sorry to dive in there, but like,
yeah, that's all right, mate.
I'm sure I remember an interview where he said he spoke to his dad and said, I reckon that, I'm too old now. I don't think I'll ever play for the Toon anymore. I just don't think that's ever going to happen. And then he gets the chance and he's like, dudes at Brighton, you've got to let me go. And they did. Fair credit to them. He gets that. He gets to play for his hometown club. He gets into the Champions League. Did he score in the Champions League? Didn't he?
Against PSG.
He scored the PSG game.
And now he's getting a call up for the national squad, all in the space of 3 years from this one move to Newcastle. What a move that's turned out to be for Dan fucking Byrne, honestly. Yeah. And he's really tall as well. I don't know if this has been pointed out yet, but like he's really tall.
So I didn't understand that until we seen him in Melbourne, and I thought he was one of the lights had fallen over that was walking on the ground. He was that bloody big. And I understood why they called him Big Dan Byrne.
You're short, though. You're pretty short, though.
But everyone's tall. Like, he was taller than everyone else. Like, there's levels to, even like he had Mark covered, and that's impressive. So, we did. I think my old man, I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago. We did speak about, with your sirs like Sir Les Ferdinand and all that sort of stuff, and your Mr. Mrs. I think Big is nearly is it a prefix now on a name? He's just Big Dan Byrne. Like, it's just, no one ever calls him Byrne or Dan Byrne. It's always Big Dan Byrne. So for everyone here in Australia, Big Dan Byrne, congratulations, and much deserved. And
absolutely
another great story for Eddie Howe and his coaching, isn't it? Like this, to get this guy into an England squad from where he was, Mark, is incredible.
He's obviously had a massive boost from coming to Newcastle as a Newcastle fan. He's grown up in the area. He's supported the club all his life. But I don't think any of us really saw this coming. I mean, he's one of those players that I've liked all the time since he's been here. I think he's done a really good job for us, and sometimes in some pretty trying circumstances. Certainly last year, he's playing at left back. It's not his natural position. I thought he did a very good job, but he still came in for criticism. Of course, he wasn't going to be an absolute world-class left back. He's like 6'7", and he's not exactly the most mobile of players. He can't cross the ball properly, but this
season can't hit the ball properly either.
He can't hit the ball properly, no. Which is probably more of the concern that we have.
Yeah. 6'7", he's better with his feet than his head.
Useless in the air.
Yeah.
But look, no, he's been absolutely phenomenal this season. He's been arguably one of our best players, as you said. He's been up there for Player of the Season contention for me. And he continually gets his critics. He continually gets criticized for some of his performances. I feel it's always a bit harsh because as a defender or a goalkeeper, if you do one little thing wrong, it typically ends up in a goal. And so it's always highlighted more than if like one of the forwards, like, you know, we've seen Joe Linton head his own, clear his own shot out from hitting his own. So look, those sorts of things you kind of laugh off more than if a defender makes a massive balls up. So I for one, I'm really pleased for him. He's got to be absolutely buzzing, and to get that notice just before the cup final, that's got to give him such a boost in confidence.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, well done to Dan Byrne. All right, boys, we'll wrap this bad boy up. Before we go, predictions, all important. Now I'll start with you, Lee. This is going to be a double banger coming your way to start off with. Your prediction and your Norm Smith medalist for man of the match. Not sure. I don't think it is the Norm Smith medal, but I don't even know if they have a medal or anything for a league cup. I turned it off after the final whistle, the Man United game. So I've got no idea if they actually award a best player, but we're going to do it. Yeah. So it's the Aussie thing to do.
The Shola Amiobi participation medal, we'll call it. Let's see. So score-wise, I will say 1-1 into extra time. We get a winner. And I think a man of the match will probably ultimately be Bruno.
Mark, how about you, mate? Prediction and Shola Amiobi participation award winner?
So Pam's going for 2-1 to Newcastle. I'm praying for the fact that will happen. She's also predicting Liverpool score first, which is not going to settle the nerves down any at all. But I am going to go for a 2-2. And I think it will go to penalties. And given Liverpool are so shy at penalties these days, I reckon we'll win it in extra time. Or either we'll win it in extra time because they'll be like shagged out from playing extra time the other night, or we'll win the penalty shootout. Nick Pope.
If it does go to pens, can we get Darwin Nunez to take them all?
He'll score them all.
Last night, he'll score every one of them. What about your Shola Amiobi participation award winner?
I think Bruno as well. I think Bruno's going to be fired up for this game.
He is going to be raging for it.
Yeah. Craig, prediction, mate?
Tears.
All of it, tears, are it?
Raging erections, alcoholism, and tears is Craig's prediction.
All in that order.
Yeah.
Let's go on with probably the most common result of our cup history in modern day terms. I'm going to say 2-0 win to us. I'm going to say we keep Liverpool quiet and they don't actually score a goal.
Jesus.
And what about your Shola Amiobi participation award winner?
I'm going to say big dog. Got to be big dog.
Yeah. I think him not playing that Liverpool game a couple of weeks ago was a really smart thing to do. I reckon if it was anyone else, he might have played, but I still think Eddie tried to keep a few things up his sleeve for the final. And the last time we played him, he absolutely terrified Virgil van Dijk. And he wasn't the first defender to feel that, and he definitely won't be the last defender. I think the Arsenal ones are still having nightmares about him. And the things he could do to them. So I'm going to go for a 3-2 win. Craig, you're going to fall off your chair here, but I thought we're going to lose, so I might as well just say 3-2 win. I think I don't know what it is. I'm going to go with the Sandro Tonali Shola Amiobi Participation Award. I just think he's had a lot of big game experience with Milan, Champions League, international football, and things like that. And I just think the guy just oozes calmness, class, everything like that. And I just think on a big occasion, he's going to run the show for us and play a huge part in us winning the game. So that's what I'm going with. Please do not put any money on any of my predictions.
So basically we've all predicted a win, which means there's going to be 3-0 hat-tricks to Salah.
Nobody's predicted a lot.
We'll be in bed by the 60th minute, game over, everything like that. But no, boys, appreciate you jumping on. It's always cool to celebrate this sort of stuff. We don't get to do it that often. We definitely haven't done it that often, given our shocking history and things like that, but we do look like we've turned the corner now, and hopefully, like we spoke about, these things can become a bit of a regular occurrence and things like that. So enjoy the next 48 hours. Don't get too into it yet. We're still got a long way out. Find something to do to keep the sort of your mind occupied and stuff like that. And hopefully, whether it's Monday night, I'm not sure if we win, anyone will be in a state to do any podcasting Monday night, but that might be the secret.
It'll be an interesting one.
The wilder, the better. Yeah. So, Craig, thank you, mate. Sorry for jerking at your heartstrings earlier, but I know how passionate you are, mate. So it's always fun to be the Pied Piper and play that fiddle, mate.
Always a good one, mate.
Lee, thank you. Hair is looking immaculate as always. I hope you and Mark enjoy the pig and whistle on Monday morning.
It's going to be
Hopefully
awesome.
We can get a few videos of you two arm in arm, sobbing, crying, drinking, sculling, shots. And then when the game starts, be good to get some videos about that as well. So good luck with that. Mark, you too. Same to you, mate. Thanks for jumping on.
Mate. Enjoy the final. Enjoy every bit
of it. You've done a pair of work to organise the pig and whistle stuff. So hopefully
it's my pleasure.
The fruits of your labour, mate.
I love getting the fans together. That's all I can say. It's just it makes the night.
Mate, it does make the night. All right, boys. Enjoy, rest up, and we'll see you on the other side.
It's almost go time, boys. It's almost go time.
Come on,
Dude.
Blow it away.
Love it.